chemical in I love a man.
Alright, welcome to day 3. We got our data, and now we're going to actually process the data. So I got the population for my country, Azerbaijan, I got the CO2 emissions, and I got the world average temperature. And I decided to use this one to show you guys in class, so I'm re-recording this. Okay, so in your Google Drive, hopefully you have a folder for projects for stats class. So, I would create folders for every grade, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then in 12th grade you have, 5 or 6 classes, and then one of them should be stats and then a project. So I just opened up a spreadsheet. And I already did this one in class, but I'm going to show you guys how to do that one again. You're going to notice in sheets or spreadsheets, you can use Excel. The nice thing about Google Sheets is that it's free. And at the bottom here, you're going to have a bunch of data. So I'm just going to show you the average temperature for my country, and I'm going to recreate this to show you guys what I did. And then sheets, the other 2 sheets, you just add sheets here on the bottom to do the CO2 emissions and population. Okay, so I'm just going to open up a new sheet. I'm just going to call this data 3 average temperature. I can't name it the same thing, so I'm going to call it live. Okay, so I'm going to get that data from my Google Slides, and there was a table. You can create one, but I already created it, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this. Right click, copy. Right click, paste. Now if you have to ever duplicate the years, if you do the first 3 years, 1950, 1955, 60, and you click on the first box, then you press Shift. So you have these 3 highlighted. Google Sheets is going to recognize your pattern, and then you can just drag the panhandle, that little rectangle at the bottom, let go where you want it to stop, and it'll complete it every 5 years. If you mess up, you can always go undo. Okay, so Celsius doesn't really make sense to us because we're in Fahrenheit. So if you just click on Celsius and move it over, it's going to repeat what you just did, and I'm just going to change that to an F. And you can just look up formula for Fahrenheit, Celsius to Fahrenheit. And our goal here is not just I type in every single number, but here's my formula right here. It takes Celsius, so that's 0 degrees Celsius times 9/5, so that's 0 plus 32. 32 degrees is freezing, which is in 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So copy and paste that formula. There is a formula, I'm sure, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to press Control F here. Try that again. Okay, to create a formula, you're going to press equals. Instead of 0 degrees Celsius, we're going to use cell B2. B2. So erase all that, right? B2. Okay. Now that X is multiplication, but in spreadsheets you're going to look for the star. So in mine that's above number 8 on my keyboard, so it's going to be shift number 8. Shift number 8 of mine. And then you can just press enter. And the nice thing is, it says autofill. If you want to look like mine, black. Okay, let's just say yours did not do that. So again, if I want to delete these, hold down shift now, left click, press delete. If you hold this one down, it's just going to repeat the formula. And now we've converted them all into Fahrenheit. Okay, now if I want to make a quick chart of this, I'm going to go to A1, left click, hold down shift, and go to A16. Left click, I'm still holding shift. Okay. And then, okay, I've never done this before. Well, Evan told me, so shout out to Evan. I want to highlight 2 lists. So now I'm going to do control. I'm holding down control and then left click. I'm a little bit different here on Windows. Let's try command. Okay, mine was command in Macs. I think yours is control in. So now I have highlighted this one, and now I'm going to press on my keyboard Windows Shift or Command Shift, and now I have 2 rows highlighted. To get a graph over here, you're going to go to Insert Chart, and Google should figure it out what you're trying to do right away. Okay, so you can resize your chart, it's too big. And you want scatter plot, you can play around with it, see what it does. X-axis was the year. You can just play around with stuff. Okay, aggregate means they actually used mine, but that's kind of difficult to see sometimes. Temperature, which I like. I don't know what this does. Add series? No, don't want that. Okay, go to customize. Take a look at these things. Change the title if you wanted to. Okay, go to series, and then you're going to click on trend line. It's going to add a trend line for us, which is great. And then under label, I can do use equation. So now I have my linear equation, which I'm going to help you calculate by hand as well. And then show R2. So the R2 is called the coefficient of determination. It basically tells us how much of the dependent variable is explained by the Y. Okay. Now, although it gave me a linear regression equation, I want to show you guys, I put this link here, how to calculate the residual plots using Google Sheets. So let's just say we're not quite sure that this was the best one. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I have my list. We want A and C. Okay? A and C. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here, and I want you to type in slope, and over here intercept, which is the y-intercept. Okay, the formula is slope. Slope is rise over 1, or y's over x's. And so this is my x, and these are my y's. So this would be in C2, colon to C16. Okay, so it's in orange now, and it's highlighted here in orange. Then I'm going to press comma and do that for my, that was my y's, now my x's, which is in your A. So A2 colon A16. It's there in purple, and then it calculated my slope. Now it's trying to do a automatic, and I don't want that because it doesn't match my equation up here. So 0.042 matches my slope, the number in front of x. Intercept, you go ahead and just copy and paste this formula. So go up here to the formula line, double click it or highlight it, control copy, control C, there's my paste. Okay, now it's asking me, which is kind of cool, basically the same formula, but you're just changing it to the word intercept. You can just click on it. There it goes. Negative 27.6 is my y-intercept. Okay, so we found the slope and the intercept. Okay. Next, I'm going to type in residuals. And remember, residuals is the actual minus the predicted. Oh wait, I think I need predicted first. So you can click this, you can change the column, just shift it over, drag it over. Label this one the predicted. So this is the actual temperature over here in Celsius and Fahrenheit. And we're going to get the predicted based off the line that it's created for us through the equation. So basically what I'm going to do is, based off the year, I'm going to input that into the formula. Remember, this is slope-intercept form, so this is x. If you need to, you can write x. And try the font. That'd probably be better. Call this one my y. Okay, the predicted is, we're basically saying in 1950, put into this slope form equation, what should you get, right? Okay, so that formula is going to be equals the money sign. The y-intercept, which is in 19, so B19, so I'm going to write money sign B, money sign 19, plus money sign B. Now I want the slope, which is in B18. Okay, then I want it to multiply, so shift 8, and I want it to multiply this x value, so A2. The money sign, when it does, it's always going to pick B18, cell B18, always. And I'll show you why in a second. It does autofill. Again, if you don't have autofill, just take the little square and then drag it down. If you go to this list here, and you'll notice that as I move down, so this right now is looking at the previous cell, which is B2, multiplied by 9 divided by 5. You'll notice the numbers keep going down. Well, how do you keep that from changing is you're going to use this money sign. Notice that the orange and purple there, the formula line up here, doesn't change. The only thing that changed was there in blue. Okay, now I'm going to get the residuals. I'm trying to create a residual plot, so I'm going to get the actual, which is C's minus D's. So equals C2 minus D2. Okay. So now I have the residuals, and now we're going to create a residuals plot. So go back up to A1. I'm going to click it, left click. Now I'm going to hold down Shift, left click on A16, and then let go of Shift. And then I'm going to go to residuals. So for mine, I'm on my Mac. I'm going to press Command. I think on Windows it was Control. And then I click Command on mine. Clicked on E1. Now I'm going to press, pay attention, Shift and Command at the same time. Left click on E16. And now I have 2 columns. And if I go back to chart, we want this to be a scatter plot. Okay, and then here we have our residual plot. And we can see that this has no pattern. No pattern is good for linear, which means that this is good. Okay, that was a lot. The other ones are going to be a little bit easier because you don't have to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. I would do a residuals plot to make sure that your slope-intercept form is good. You should be doing this for, just add more sheets here, sheets 2 and 3, and then you're going and getting your data. So for CO2 emissions, it says every 5 years. You're going to have to delete, the years in between, and you have this amount, which we need to work on getting units. And then the world population, I said every 10 years, there's your X and there's your Y. That was long, but thank you for being patient. Hopefully that was helpful. See ya.
Missing formulas in life? Problems becoming too difficult to clear? Well then, you need Mr. Math Cleaning Solution. Just spray the liquid formula onto the mess, then wipe it clear, and enjoy the result. Mr. Math. Stay clean and calculated. Order now at www.gpproductions.com and get an additional